You know that feeling, right? That deep down power inside you, the one you've been told to quiet down, maybe even to be afraid of? Well, today, we're going on a journey to reclaim that power. We're going to understand your true nature and unlock your incredible ability to shape reality itself.
And this is where it all begins, with this incredible truth from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, BHAGAVAN Sri Nithyanaanda Paramashivamam. He tells us that the greatest superstition isn't about walking under a ladder, it's the belief that you are powerless. Just let that sink in. Does that feeling sound familiar?
So if we are so powerful, why don't we feel it? How is this superstition kept alive? To get to the bottom of it, we have to look at the invisible prison that society builds around us, a kind of conditioning that's so deep, most of us don't even know we're in it. Here's how it works. Society takes beautiful words like humility and control and twists them to make us feel good about making ourselves small. But as Bhagavan reveals, this is a deep brainwashing that traps us in a state of self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-denial. He actually has a name for this toxic inner state, SDHD.
Bhagavan gives us his absolutely brilliant metaphor to explain it. Imagine a powerful Jallikattu bull, a creature literally bred for strength, vitality, and power. Society takes that bull, tames it, breaks its spirit, and turns it into an ordinary animal that just pulls a cart. That's exactly what the SDHD mindset does to our own magnificent innate power. It domesticates us for a life of service to others' agendas.
Okay, so that's the prison. But here's the amazing news. There's a key that can shatter all of this conditioning. It's a fundamental truth about who you really are. And once you grasp it, literally everything changes. It's time to go beyond the labels and limits that have been put on you.
And before we go any further, just take a moment. I mean, really, ask yourself this question. Forget your name, your job, all the stories about you. What are you really? What is the core essence of your being?
Here's the answer. A truth so powerful it can reboot your entire existence. You are not a physical body made of matter. You are a conscious, vibrating quantum field. Your body, your reality, it all exists inside of that field. It's your consciousness that shapes the particles, not the other way around.
So what exactly is this quantum field? Bhagavan connects this modern scientific term to ancient timeless truths. In the sacred scriptures, it's called the Bindu Mandala. This is the unmanifest state, basically the source code of all reality. Think of it as this space of pure potential, where you, the one watching, and the reality you're watching become one and the same.
All right, so how do we access this power? It requires a radical shift inside. We have to ditch the poison of self-doubt and start embracing the powerful medicine of self-wonder. And this isn't just about thinking differently. It's about changing your core frequency. You see, that SDHD mindset, that poison of self-doubt, is the real root of ego. Society has it completely backward. They tell you that wondering at yourself is arrogant, but Bhagavan reveals the exact opposite is true. It's the person riddled with self-doubt who develops a big ego. When you doubt yourself, you start suspecting everyone and everything around you, trapping yourself in a downward spiral. But self-wonder? That's a whole different reality. It is not arrogance. It's simply the honest recognition of the magic that's already in your life. You know, when you look back and think, wow, how did that amazing thing even happen? The effort I put in seems so small compared to this incredible result. That's the moment. That's when you start realizing you've been tapping into the quantum field all along. You just didn't know it. And that wonder leads straight to gratitude.
This is where it gets really exciting. The question becomes, how do we go from impacting this field by accident to doing it consciously? How do we become the deliberate, powerful creators of our own lives? Well, Bhagavan has given us a direct and profound technique to do just that. But first, let's tackle a common problem. So many of us have tried positive thinking or visualization, and it just doesn't work. Why? It's because of duality. The moment you visualize what you want, another part of your mind, the part conditioned by all that SDHD, pops up and says, yeah, right, who are you kidding? You end up driving with one foot on the gas and the other slammed on the brake.
So, to bypass that inner conflict, Bhagavan reveals this incredibly beautiful technique. You don't fight your thoughts. Instead, you sit quietly. First, you witness. Just watch. Where does that feeling of I or me come from? Trace it back to its source, that deep, quiet space inside. Second, you dissolve into it. Just merge with that source. Third, you simply rest there. in that pure silence. And from that complete stillness, fourth, you intend. You just gently drop your intention, like a tiny seed, into a perfectly still pond. No pushing, no fighting. Finally, you just remain in that state, without greed for the outcome or fear that it won't happen. You let the universe do its work.
Now, when you begin to practice this, your whole experience of life begins to transform. You stop living as this tiny, separate fragment, and you start experiencing the wholeness that you truly are. It feels a little something like this. That limited idea of you as somebody, this one little person, it just starts to